Hi family, good evening. Ooh, some stuff on my glasses, can't really see. But it is still week 6, day 2. Instead of recording the video tomorrow, I'm just gonna record it today because I've been waking up later and later. But I did want to get a few of the testimonies out from today. Today has just been a blessing. For, I want to say, the past 2.5 weeks, I have been doing nothing but businesses in the morning. So drop me off at a business in the morning, and then we do homes at night. And so I haven't been doing homes in the morning, and I've been with Lisa's van for the past 2 days, and so she actually had me do homes in the morning as well. The day feels a little bit longer because you're doing the same thing for both the morning and the evening, but businesses are still kind of scary to me, so it was kind of nice to have a break from them. But the thing is, in the morning most people aren't home, and so I was just really praying for territory today, and I had a goal yesterday to get 5 GCs or conflictos out. Doesn't matter for me, English or Spanish. Didn't get a single one out. I was just like, oh Lord, help me. And because like the Great Controversy is just so powerful, and so we want to get those books out. And then so Lisa did again a challenge, and I was like, okay Lord, I want to get 5 GCs out today. I was praying for that, and so Lisa taught me this thing. Instead of starting with one book, you start with your opener book, usually the health book, and then you put the GC under it. And so when you do the book in hand, you're giving them 2 books at once. I say on the front one is the Habits That Heal, and then look at the other book. It's about health. This one is about history, something like that. And so I was opening up with 2 books, and so my goal was 5 GCs. And then within the first 3 houses, I got a Daniel and a GC out. Next 2 houses down, I got an answer and a GC out. Next house down, I got just a GC out. Next house, and it was just so amazing. Like within the first hour, I got 3 GCs out of it. And then I was just like, oh Lord, thank you so much. And then so before lunch, I had this goal. I was like, Lord, help me get 7 GCs out and 3 conflictos, so three great controversies altogether. So I was just praying for that the whole day, and then I kind of felt like I was what do you call this, Abraham, when Sodom and Gomorrah was about to be destroyed, and then they were like, if there are 50 people, righteous people, it's like, Lord, if there's 50, wouldn't you do it for 45, for 40, and then you're just like going all the way down. And so this is me like, Lord, give me 5, Lord, give me 7, Lord, give me 10. And so that was just, just kept going. And then so my prayer was 7 great controversies and 3 conflictos. And then afternoon, met this guy. He was canvassing with a friend, and then saw just like 2 books, one for his friend, one for him. And then the friend's like, oh, I have to go. But I talked to this guy, showed him the Great Controversy, and he was like, oh yeah, he was gonna get the Great Controversy in Daniel. And I was like, oh, and he told me his testimony, how he'd been a Christian for 20 years already. And I was like, oh, for those who are studying their Bible. I was like, where are you studying your Bible? And he's like, oh, I went back to Genesis, and then going all the way through. I was like, oh, this is a great book. And so I switched out the Daniel for an answer book, and so I got a GC answer book set out. And then my prayer, and then so I was like, oh, it's so powerful because it's a GC answer. I did the survey. He signed up for correspondence Bible studies because he was already having personal Bible studies. Later met this guy. He was like, oh, so I was talking about habits that heal. He was like, but why would you want to live long? He was like this is such a bad world. And I was like, oh, I'm a Christian student, so my belief is, because of Jesus, and that we have hope, that we can hope in Him, and we have peace in this world, even with all these bad things going around. He's like, oh, but if you're a Christian, wouldn't you just want to die and be with God already right away? And so I was like, oh yeah, well, I'm actually a Seventh-day Adventist Christian, and what we believe is, and it's explained state of the dead, how we're sleeping in Christ, and we don't actually get to go to heaven until His second coming. And he was like, oh, but this, and we went back and forth in the Bible, and then I just let him talk. And I had already read the chapter from the answer book on death, and I was like, oh, let me show this to you. Go ahead. Let me show this. What is that face, Cheryl? Show me that face. And so I showed him the chapter on death in the answer book, and then he was like, okay, let me get this one, and he gave me a $10 donation. And then but he was wearing a Marine shirt. And then I was like, oh, did you serve? He's like, no, but I have such great respect, for those protecting freedom overseas and here at home. And I was like, oh, you know what? There's a wonderful book, talks about freedom. Showed him the great controversy, gave another $10 donation, so he got another GC answer set out. And then so towards the end of the night, I was like, Lord, let me get 3 answer books out. And then I looked down on my top sheet, and then I had already gotten 3 answer books out. And so it was just amazing. And so at the end of the night, I did get those 3 answer books. I got my 7 GCs and my 3 Conflictos. And so it was just an amazing day. Great conversations with people at the door, and God really did bless. And yeah, that's all for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.